the CCTV that watches back. Entry granted. We only checked the cameras when something went wrong. That was the rule. You don't sit there watching screens all night. You don't look for things that aren't there. You check when you need to. And most nights, you don't need to. But that changed after the backroom incident, after the knocking, after the door opened, after people started asking questions they couldn't explain. That's when management told us, log everything, check cameras more often. So we did. At first, nothing unusual. People coming in, people leaving. Same patterns, same routines. But then one night, I saw something I shouldn't have. It was small, easy to miss. Front camera, empty doorway, timestamp 4:19. Then, without warning, someone appeared. Not walking in, not approaching, just there, standing directly in front of the door. I frowned, rewound it, played it again. Same thing, empty frame. Then a figure. No transition, no movement, just inserted. I checked the inside camera. Nothing, no one at the counter. No one walking in. But when I switched back, the figure was gone. I told myself it was a glitch. Signal drop. Frame skip. Cameras do that sometimes. Except the next night, it happened again. Different time. Same camera. Empty. Then someone already there, looking directly into the lens. That's when I zoomed in, because something about the way they stood, it felt deliberate. And when I zoomed, I saw their face. It was one of our members, someone I recognized, someone who hadn't been in that night. I checked the logs. No entry, no scan, no record of them being there. But the camera showed them. Clear as day. That's when I made a mistake. I started watching more. Not just when something went wrong, but constantly. Watching every angle, every feed. Looking for it. And once you start looking, you start seeing patterns. Because it wasn't random. It always happened just before 4:20. And it wasn't just the front camera, back corridor, bar, the door. Every camera eventually showed it. People appearing where they shouldn't be, standing still, looking directly into the lens, not moving, not blinking, just watching. Then one night, I saw something worse. Playback, inside camera. It showed me. Standing behind the counter. Normal. Working. But I hadn't been there yet. I checked the timestamp. 4:12. I wasn't due in until 4:30. But there I was, moving, working, like I always did. I watched it for a long time, trying to understand it. And then, the version of me on the screen stopped, mid-movement, turned slowly, and looked directly into the camera, straight at me, then mouthed something. I rewound it, played it again, zoomed in, 3 words. Don't watch this. I shut the system off. Immediately. Didn't care about protocol. Didn't care about anything. Just turned it off. But when I looked up, the screens were still on. Every single one. And every camera feed was showing me standing there, watching, except they weren't synced. Each screen showed a slightly different version, different timing, different movements, like multiple versions of me, all existing at once. And in every single one, I eventually turned and looked at the camera. I backed away, heart racing, because this wasn't playback anymore. This was live. That's when I heard it. A voice behind me. You're not supposed to watch it like that. I turned. Mr. Sheffield, standing in the doorway, same as always, calm, measured. You've seen too much, he said. What is this? I asked. He glanced at the screens. Monitoring, he replied. That's not monitoring. He smiled slightly. It is here. I looked back at the screens. Why is it showing things before they happen? He stepped closer. Because they've already happened. That didn't make sense. That's not how time works. He shook his head. Not here. He pointed to one of the screens. Watch, he said. I didn't want to, but I did. On the screen, a member walked toward the back room door, paused, then opened it. I frowned. That hasn't happened, I said. He looked at me. It will. Then stop it. He tilted his head slightly. Why would I? That's not safe. He smiled. Safety isn't part of the system. I looked back at the screen. The member was gone. Inside. Then I heard it. From the corridor. A door opening. I ran back toward the hallway, and there he was, the same member, standing at the back room door, hand on the handle, about to open it, exactly like the screen showed. Don't, I said. He paused, looked at me. Why? I didn't have an answer, because it had already happened. And that's when I realized the truth. The cameras weren't predicting anything. They weren't showing the future. They were showing what the system had already decided, and we were just following it. I turned back toward the control room. But Mr. Sheffield was gone. Only the screens remained. Still on, still showing. And on the main monitor, a new feed appeared. It was me, standing in the corridor, talking to that member. Then, on the screen, I turned, walked back toward the control room, toward myself. I froze, because I hadn't moved yet. But the screen version of me kept walking, closer, closer, until he reached the door. And then he stepped inside. Into the room I was standing in. The door behind me creaked, slowly opening. I didn't turn around. Didn't need to, because I already knew what I'd see. Another version of me, following the same path, doing the same thing, because it had already been decided. And no matter what I did next, I'd just be catching up to it. Now, I don't check the cameras anymore. No one does. We leave them running. Let them do what they do. Because once you start watching, you realize something. You're not observing the system. You're part of it. And somewhere on a screen you can't see, you're already doing something you haven't done yet. So if you ever find yourself there and you see a camera pointed at you, don't look into it. Don't try to understand it, because the moment you do, it's already seen you. And whatever happens next, it's already happened. Entry granted, 420.